Welcome to the Osmo Early Bird Podcast. It's your old pal Emac coming to you with one Adam Ship, my money share, as we're discussing the last Thursday slate of the regular season. Adam, say it with me. You're so happy it's Thursday. What's going on?
Yeah, happy it's almost the weekend. It's almost football again. Finishing up the baseball season. Hopefully going out, on a strong note. But a couple of 5 to 6 game slates today, so get our money in twice.
Yep, absolutely. We've got a 12:35 start, 6-gamer on DraftKings, the full shebang on presenting sponsor Yahoo, and then FanDuel chopping it up. They're doing 3 and 3, so we will cover everything. And then there's a 5-game main slate with just one late game. Let me see here. Oh, no, there's actually 2. They are going head-to-head with Monday or Thursday night football. We do have Live Before Lock with Alex Baker himself. That is Awesemo with Ben Raza and Nolan Kelly. They will be on at 7:30 until kickoff. We've got Live Before Lock MLB. We've got the deep dive. We've got everything for you. The DFS strategy show for baseball, 9:30. Thursday morning. And then, of course, at 11 o'clock, the NFL strategy show. We literally have you covered with wall-to-wall DFS sports over there on Awesemo.com, particularly the YouTube channel. All right, Adam, I got a cold coming on, so that's going to be a lot of fun. But let's talk about this early slate here. I've got all the wrong things open, but let's go with Milwaukee and Cincinnati. So it looks like Milwaukee is going to win on Wednesday night as we are recording this. Well, with 3 innings to go, they are up by 6. There was several marathon games last night, so stranger things have happened. But if they win, that is going to effectively eliminate, I believe, the Mets and who's the other team? The Cubs. The Mets and Cubs needed to win out, and they needed their last 5, and they needed Milwaukee to lose their last 5 to create a mess for that final wild card spot. Looks like that will not happen. But we do have our starters listed already. That is going to be Chase Anderson for Milwaukee going against the Reds. That will be Luis Castillo, who may or may not get a watered-down lineup. We'll have to see. It's going to be a 12:35 start. Talk to me about Luis Castillo, one of your favorite pitchers.
Yeah, he's been really, really good this year. Haven't really rostered him a lot because it seems like he's been on slates with really good pitching pretty much every single time he's taken the mound. But really affordable here against Milwaukee. Obviously, a little bit of a watered-down lineup without Christian Yelich in it. And Castillo has struck out 28.8% of hitters this season. His walk percentage is a little high at 9.9%, but that's really the only thing that he has a problem with. Gets ground balls, has a 3.93 Sierra, 3.48 xFIP. So I think just a really strong option.
All right, on the other side, we have Chase Anderson. He has gone 6 and 4 innings in his last 2 starts. Finally broke free of that sort of imaginary 65 pitch limit that he was under. He did go 85 there against Pittsburgh. We'll have to see what he does against Cincinnati. Again, they may just turn it over to the bullpen. Lots of fresh arms. And again, if they are clinching, they may not push anybody that hard. This will be the 4th time he has faced Cincinnati this season. He has a 5.5 ERA, 1.3 whip against them with 2 home runs allowed, 14 strikeouts in those 16 innings. Let's see. Milwaukee, I think, is rather interesting. And DraftKings, we're going to look at all 6 games, so we'll focus on different stuff on FanDuel in a minute here. But is Chase Anderson on the 12-pitcher 6-game early slate for you?
No, he's not. He's just not going deep enough in the games. He's not cheap enough for a pitcher that most likely isn't going to go too deep. He did go 6 innings his last time out through 85 pitches, but I just have no confidence in that being a thing that continues to happen. Not a good park either. Not a bad matchup against Cincinnati, but not a great one. I think that you can find better options.
All right, let's continue along here. Let's see who we have starting for the Minnesota Twins. Looks like it's going to be Smeltzer, which I'm blanking, which probably means Dobnak may be the opener. Smeltzer has started half of his 10 appearances, so who knows what Detroit is going to be doing. What Minnesota is going to be doing. The interesting thing about Minnesota is they are mostly clinched. Let me see here. Let me see. So they have not completely clinched the playoff spot. Any combination of 2 wins and by Minnesota and 2 Cleveland losses, and they will clinch. So they're looking good. They're 3.5 games, I think, above Cleveland with 5 to go. So they would need some stuff to go sideways before they were not going to make it into the playoffs. They've got Jordan Zimmerman. Adam, I put together a few notes here. 22 starts for Jordan Zimmerman, 1-12 record, 6.85 ERA, 1.5 WHIP, 19 home runs allowed over 107 innings. At that rate, if he had pitched 200 innings, he would be in the top 3 for home runs allowed on the season. He still has 1 year left on his 5-year, $110 million contract. Since the beginning of last season, a 2 home run per 9 by lefties. Righties have him for a 1.53 per 9. He's 4,800. Tell me you're not considering him against the Twins.
I am not.
All right. Would you go with Smeltzer or Dobnak at all, because they get to be going against the Tigers here?
Probably not, but it depends if Smeltzer actually gets the start. He threw 19 pitches his last time out. Before that, 49, 62, 71. I mean, if we could get 60 to 70 pitches, then maybe he's an okay SP2. But I still don't like. I would rather just roster Tyler Beede.
All right, let's continue along. Then we've got our next craptastic game. Brian Johnson, the opener against Texas. Mike Minor will be pitching in full for the Rangers. It's going to be in the 90s. That is a 2 o'clock Eastern start. That is a 1 o'clock Texas time start. Couple southpaws here. I guess we go with Mike Minor. We may see more and more of a watered-down Boston lineup. They don't have a lot to play for. This is a day game after a night game. Talk to me about Mike Minor.
Minor has the potential to be interesting. He's at one of the cheaper price points we've gotten on him in a while at 9,100 on DraftKings. Comes into the game with a 23% strikeout percentage, 4.5 Sierra. But it really comes down to the Boston lineup. You know, I don't expect Mookie to be there. If JD happened to get a night off or the day off, then suddenly you're down to a really, really weak lineup, you know, with Gorkys Hernandez, Jackie Bradley, Chris Owings, Marco Hernandez making up, you know, four ninths of it. So there's the potential for a really, really favorable matchup for Minor. If, you know, JD is in and Bogarts is in, then it's still okay. But like I would rather try and find the money for Luis Castillo.
Yeah, Gorky's just got the call up from the minor leagues. He came over from the Giants and did not sniff time outside of Pawtucket till now. So he is there continuing along. Let me get back to my thing here. Clayton Kershaw, 11,100 going against the Dodgers. Dodgers have been a little bit of a mess. A bunch of guys are dinged up. Seemingly they don't really care anymore, which, gosh, they spent all that money on Manny Machado and they're just mailing it in. That's really doesn't seem like a lot of fun. You have Joey Lucchesi on the other side. I don't really want to tangle with the Dodgers, but we've got so many crappy pitchers and openers here. I got to ask Lucchesi at 8,300 on DK, Adam.
It's just a really tough matchup against the Dodgers. I don't think it's necessary.
All right. Clayton Kershaw at 11-1, top priced pitcher on the slate. Oh, pardon me. Steven Strasburg is there. But Kershaw, decent matchup. The Dodgers are still – they've clinched – their playoff berth, of course, they have for a while. However, they actually are right in the mix there. They're a game behind the Yankees, and they are 2 games behind the Astros for World Series home field advantage, and that's something that could be worthwhile. So we know that they're going to mix and match their pitchers once they go to the bullpen, but they've been playing a lot of their top players, Adam. Additionally, they have a good bench now with everybody healthy. Gavin Lux, Matt Beattie, Chris Taylor, all sorts of guys there. What do you want to do with Mr. Kershaw here?
I expect we'll get around 100 pitches from him against the Padres. Really weak San Diego team now due to trades and injuries. So I like Kershaw. I think that from a pure ceiling standpoint, there's not a big difference between him and Castillo, who's a little bit less expensive. But this time of year, there are a lot of value bats, so I don't think it'll be that tough to get there. I think he's probably my favorite pitcher right now.
All right, that makes sense. We've got, you sort of mentioned Tyler Beattie. He is back home where he pitches so much better. Like most of his compadres there, he has a 4 ERA at home, a 6 ERA on the road, twice as many home runs allowed on the road. Well, about a 50% more on the rates So he's someone we want to look, or we can look to against Colorado. It'll be the third time he has faced them. You got Kyle Freeland on the other side. Kyle Freeland is sort of the, well, shall we say, the left-handed Jordan Zimmerman. He has, in 100 innings pitched, tallied a 6.84 ERA, 1.6 whip, 25 home runs. He would be leading the league in home runs if he had pitched 200 innings. And that crappy stat line, Adam, he performed even worse when they sent him down in the middle of the season for 6 starts in AAA. Kyle Freeland, 4,800 against a much-improved Giants lineup. Any chance he makes your lineup?
I'm not excited about Freeland, but if I have to go to that price range, I would rather roster Freeland than, say, Jordan Zimmerman. I'm interested in Beatty. A lot of that will come down to what the Rockies lineup actually looks like. There's a good chance that it's very left-handed heavy, which is a downgrade to Beatty. At home this season, he has a 19.3% strikeout percentage against lefties. He's allowed a 314 WOBA. Against righties at home, 28.3% strikeout percentage. He's held them to a 308 WOBA. So if it is left-handed heavy, it's still not a lot of very good lefties. I still think that Beatty is the best, cheap option. But if you happen to get an extra righty or two in there for some reason, it becomes even better for him.
All right, and then we are on our final game of this early 6-game slate. We'll loop back and talk FanDuel pricing here in just a second. You've got Strasburg going against Jason Vargas. Want to have a good laugh, Adam? 28 starts for Vargas. Remember, he was with the Mets before getting traded to Philadelphia, so he spent all season in the AL East. How many times do you think he has faced the Nationals?
1.
0. Kind of funny. We've got pitchers that are going against teams for the 6th time, and somehow he missed them. Probably due in part to that trade, but I found that kind of funny. But you've got Vargas here at 7,600. Nationals really can't do much to improve their lot in life other than to clinch home field wild card 1-game play-in advantage here. We should see Rendon back. He got the hangover day on Wednesday. Are you liking Vargas at 7,600 and then compare Strasburg to Kershaw?
Not really interested in Vargas unless we were to get a watered-down lineup again, which I don't expect. If you were to, not get Rendon or Turner, then obviously it becomes better. I believe Drew Smyly is in the midst of carving them up tonight. But as we record, but otherwise, not really that interested. If it's their normal lineup, not a lot of strikeouts, tons of power. Vargas, just middle of the road. As far as Strasburg, I think he's fine. Philadelphia has been running out a weaker lineup than normal. JT Realmuto's banged up, so he may not be in the lineup. The problem I have is that Strasburg's just so much more expensive than Kershaw and Castillo that from an upside standpoint, it's tough to justify.
All right, let me see here. Minnesota, what do they got? No, they're talking about Kyle Gibson, but he may just be an opener. Okay, on FanDuel here, the early slate, we have 3 games only. Luis Castillo at 9,900, Mike Minor at 85.
Castillo.
All right. On the 3-game mid-afternoon slate, we again have Steven Strasburg at 10.8, Kershaw at 10.4, and Beatty at 6.9.
It was I missed the first 2.
Strasburg at 10.8, Kershaw at 10.4.
Kershaw.
All right. And then on Yahoo, this is their full slate. However, the top 3 pitchers are all from this early one. Kershaw, 55, Strasburg, 53, Luis Castillo at 47.
Castillo.
All right. Let's head on here to the evening slate. This is a 5-gamer. You've got the Cubs. You've got the Pirates. Joe Musgrove, 7,700 DK pricing. Jose Quintana, 7,400. Cubbies should be eliminated. That will be official tomorrow. You will know before the game starts. What do you want to do with our pair of discounted hurlers?
Not overly interested in either one. I think Quintana's okay depending on the lineup you get from the Pirates. They have brought some guys up from the minors, so you get a little bit weaker lineup. And Quintana's price tags come down, but he's really just an average pitcher. The park's okay. Probably not a ton of strikeouts in the Pirates lineup, though. On the other side, we finally have an elevated price tag from Musgrove. The Cubs, a pretty good offense. I don't have a ton of interest in either pitcher.
All right, let's move along to our next game here. Miami Marlins at the Mets. We have Jordan Yamamoto at 8,600 versus Zach Wheeler. You do not want to go to Jordan Yamamoto. He has made the jump. He skipped AAA his first 3 or 4 starts were pretty good. His last 10 have been a debacle, Adam. 49 49 and 2/3 innings, 6.3 ERA, 1.3 WHIP. That's not that bad. Strikeout per inning. That's not that bad. 11 home runs allowed. Not good. 11 walk rate. Not good at all. No interest in him at that 8,600 price point. Zach Wheeler, however, going against the Marlins, he wins the lottery. What do you want to do with Wheeler?
I think Wheeler is obviously interesting because he's facing Miami. He's priced up for the matchup. He's not a great strikeout pitcher. This season, he has struck out. Where is he? Oh, he struck out 23.2%. So really not what you're looking for in a 10K pitcher, but it is a 5-game slate. He is facing the Marlins. So, I think he's perfectly fine.
I'm laughing. I'm opening up FanDuel here. I remember, three seasons ago, maybe 4, the rally was always $5. Now it's $18.88.
Wow, that's quite a jump.
Yeah, that's yeah. Okay. Top heavy tournaments. Let's be smart. Play the leagues over there. If you're playing FanDuel, play those 100-mans. I can't say that enough. 3-entry max. I think those are the best format and payouts out there. I wish the other sites did them with the same volume and fervor that FanDuel does. However, they do not. On to our third game here. We have Aaron Savali going against Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease gets the goose here, priced up to 9,100. He is coming off a masterful performance against Detroit. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts, just 2 walks allowed. He's been pretty solid with over a strikeout per inning in his last 6 starts here. What do you want to do with Dylan Cease against Cleveland?
Pretty brutal matchup for him, and he got a price hike for it, so not really interested in Cease. I think he does have really good stuff, but it's just really hard to pay off this price tag against a Cleveland team that is as good as they are.
All right. Is Aaron Savali as good as his 1.8 ERA and 0.99 WHIP through, what do we got here, 54 innings?
It's tough to pay up. I mean, the White Sox do strike out a lot, but they're not the worst collection of hitters, at least in the top and middle of the order. And Savali's priced up to 9,600 on DraftKings. He's only struck out 19.9% of hitters this year. Just really tough to pay for that.
All right, next game we've got Houston. They're coming down from Seattle. They're going to take on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim in Anaheim. They've got a matchup with Jaime Barria, who has been a mess since the beginning of last season in 454 righty matchups. Yes, same-handed hitters. He has a 2.43 home run per 9. Opposite-handed hitters have just a 0.95 home run per 9 in that same stretch. Do not let that dissuade you. Load up on Houston. We have Wade Miley at 6,500, Adam. He has come down because he's had 3 crappy starts in his last 4. A reminder, he went almost 40 starts with allowing more than 4 earned runs just once in that stretch. Clock struck midnight here on Cinder Miley, but at 6,500 going against a very depleted Halo squad, I'm very interested on DK.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much upside still at this price tag, I don't think, but it is a watered-down lineup, and the mid-range basically comes down to Musgrove, Quintana, and Miley, so I don't mind getting some.
All right, so I want to lay this out for those listening. In his last 4 starts, he has a grand total of 4 strikeouts. The first start in this series, or in this series of 4 that he made, he went against Seattle, no outs, gave up 5 earned runs. Then he went to Oakland, or faced Oakland, 1 out, but allowed 7 earned runs. Only 1 home run total there, but no strikeouts. And the next game was a normal start. He looked pretty good. 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 walks, 2 earned runs, no home runs, 4 strikeouts. And then his last start against the Anaheim, 1 inning, 4 earned runs, 1 home run. So he's got 3 of his last 4 outings have been negative, Adam. Yet I'm still interested in him. I'm hoping, I guess, for 4, maybe 5 innings.
Yeah, I mean, you're not excited at all. He's not a high upside guy. It's just that the slate only has so many pitchers on it.
All right. We've got 2 left. I'll let you talk about Sean Manaea. I want to talk about King Felix. lifelong Mariners fan here. This could be the last time we get to talk about him as a starter. He is at home this season. He has been doing it all with smoke and mirrors at home. I tell you, he's got that King's Court. It's a whole thing up there in Seattle. They rally behind him, chant K or King with every pitch. It's great. On the road, 9 starts this season. He has lasted just 36 innings. So that's 4 innings per outing. He has allowed 10 home runs. He has a 9.2 ERA, a 1.8 whip. At home in 5 starts, so about half as many, he has 30 innings, allowed 6 home runs. That's not great. 25 strikeouts. That's okay, I guess, for him at this point. 3.3 ERA, 1.2 whip. If you're going to play him, this is it. Going to be emotional. Could be his last start. He's been fighting to stay out of the bullpen. Who knows what's going to happen to him next year. Wow. Felix Hernandez, 5,400. Any thoughts on Felix, and close us out with Sean Manaea here?
My thoughts on Felix are to roster the Athletics bats.
Manaea,
hater. Manaea, though, I'm really intrigued by. I think that he probably comes in with lower ownership than Wheeler because he's $200 more expensive on DraftKings and he's not facing the Marlins. But he really interests me. He's a pitcher that I've always thought should be better than his actual numbers. And so far this year, 5 starts at AAA with a 41% strikeout percentage. And through 4 starts with Oakland, he has struck out 28.1%. That is obviously higher than Zach Wheeler's strikeout percentage this season. And he's got a favorable matchup against the Mariners. So I really, really like Manaea in tournaments, especially if he's going to be lower owned than Wheeler.
All right, let's look at some FanDuel pricing, some Yahoo pricing, and get on out of here. FanDuel, we've got Wheeler at the top, 10.5, Manaea 9.8. Then you're at Savali 8.7, Musgrove 7.9, and Cease 7.3. I'm guessing it's going to be the top 2, and you don't care about anybody else.
Yep.
Moving over to Yahoo, where we got to start 2. You've got Manaea at 47, Wheeler at 32. 42. If we play both those guys, we've got $13 per hitter. I think that is the route to go. You don't want to mess with Felix or Barria or Dylan Cease at 28 there. How do you feel about that?
I think it's fine, but it's probably unnecessary just because Wheeler is so cheap. I think that Wheeler Manaea or Wheeler Musgrove is probably preferable.
Yeah, if you get those 2 plus a $7 player, which should not be that hard, even though there's only 10 teams instead of 24 like we've seen the last 2 days, you are up to $14 per batter. So you can definitely go Manaea Wheeler there without too much of a stretch. On Yahoo, the presenting sponsor there. If you have not yet signed up for Yahoo, go to the Spotlight Hitters and Stacks article. I'll be posting that one. It'll be live as soon as you hear this. We've got the 3rd paragraph gives you the instructions and link on how to get your initial deposit bonus of $30 matched in Yahoo Sports Rewards points, YSRPs, which are available for immediate use into any contest. Reminder, they do have the $400,000 baller this weekend. That is a 150 max. They still do not have CSV uploads, so everybody's doing that by hand. $10 per entry, 10% management fee, so significantly less than what they're doing on DraftKings and FanDuel, who are closer to 16%. And the payout structure, Adam, not bad, actually. $50K to first, $30 to second, $20 to third, $10 to fourth, $5 to everybody else in the top 10. You double up as long as you are in, 9,700 divided by 44. I don't know what the number is, but about 20% of the people double up their money. Not too bad. Maybe 15%. There you go. That's not bad because most of the other sites, 15% of the people get 1.5% of their money back, or 1.5 times their money back. You going to do a little Yahoo this weekend, Adam?
Yeah, playing 150.
There you go. How did that go last time? I didn't have a chance to talk to you. Did you get them all in by hand there?
No, I got in about 80 of them before lock, and then I just swapped to a dummy lineup and game stacked the 4 o'clock games for the rest. Basically broke even.
There you go. All right. Well, not a bad way. And that's a little pro tip there from Adam, who does this full time. All right, gamers, with that, we're going to get on out of here. You can follow Adam on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. I am at EMACDFS. And of course, it is Asimo_COM. With that, gamers, good luck.